partie 2. Ah, j'en peux plus. Ouais, ce con. Ah, ok, il a encore une crise de je sais pas quoi là.
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out.
Putain. Vache.
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days.
Ça se trouve, ma mère elle est séquestrée là en fait.
Mother. A fragment of amber. Bandages. Someone's been patching themselves up. Looks like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes.
Quel abruti celui-là.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Don't move!
Wait, I'm not armed.
Who are you?
Good God, Mother, what have you...
Tell me who you are!
Ma mère, j'étais sûr. Ah, elle est moche. Très moche. Elle est moche. Ah, frère, on est à l'épisode 3. Non, on est à l'épisode... Bon. 8, 9, 10, il n'y a que 3 petits trucs à faire. On va aller jusqu'au 4ème, Ouais, non, on, est non, on a fini l'épisode 2 là, donc oh là là, je suis complètement paumé, je suis désolé. Donc on va aller jusqu'à l'épisode 4. Et le 5ème épisode, je vous le ferai en vidéo peut-être, ou en live, je ne sais pas, je verrai. Selon mes disponibilités. Selon mes disponibilités. J'ai l'impression que je suis un business model. Ouais, alors selon mes disponibilités. Selon la YouTube money. Alors que pas du tout, frère. Pas du tout.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
voilà, d'accord, on s'est fait... Il y a 5 épisodes, hein, donc ça va aller très vite. Hein.
Don't move.
Wait, I don't...
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my God, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What? But, Mother...
Who are you?
It's me, Louis, your son.
No, you lie. You won't get me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
I received a letter from Lord Mortimer inviting me to...
That's enough! You want to corrupt us all, one after the other. But you will never get me. You are evil incarnate. Every word that comes out of your mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish you any harm. Really, Mother. It's me, Louis.
Don't speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis. How can I convince you?
If you really are who you say you are.
Mind rational and open.
You knew it. You are smart. You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Mother, I really am your son. You can't trick me. We were in Paris. We were investigating an art dealer.
His name?
Oh, bullshit. Oh, merde. J'ai même pas... Mort.
His name was... Von Bullshit.
Louis would never have got it wrong, dirtbag.
No, wait. It's just a detail. He lived in Paris, near the Notre Dame Cathedral. We investigated him for 3 months. He made a fortune by taking advantage of gullible collectors of Parisian high society.
You're a good actor.
He was an ancient art dealer. He had the book, Al-Azif.
And that's what you wanted to get out of me, wasn't it?
Not at all. We unmasked him, but then he came after us. We escaped, but you didn't want me to intervene. I listened to you, and we knocked him out.
What? How? You can't know about that. Louis, no. Is it really you? No! It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit. She's completely panicked because I spoke to Mortimer. It seems she's afraid of what he might have said to me about her.
Did he speak to you?
Naturally. Even though I had to wait 3 days for him to see me, we met only this morning.
You've been here for the past 3 days?
Yes. Why?
If you really are who you say you are, then you'll do what I ask of you.
Which is?
A conference is going to be held. You will attend on my behalf.
No, wait, Mother. No one cares about...
You will be invited and you will go. Mortimer will present a project. Whatever this project is, whatever the project is, I want you to learn as much as you can about it. You'll have to get by as best you can, but we must find out what it's about. Do you understand?
Don't you think that before all that, there are a few issues to be addressed?
Do you understand?
Yes. All right, I understand.
I'll explain afterward, but right now you must go to the conference. Go now!
You do realize you're still treating me like
Go!
If you aren't there when I get back, I warn you.
Bah, j'ai complètement foiré le...
One more thing, Mother. Emily Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and...
It's the signal that the conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests.
On peut pas les inviter. Attends.
Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference. Please take the door to your left to join the guests.
C'est horrible.
Respect to any other generation.
Totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it.
She says she's quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not sour. It is not sour.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it for some time, but now I'm convinced.
I don't know if you ever found what you were looking for in the garden, but Mortimer is waiting for you. I suggest you get a move on.
You say it as if you were afraid of him.
Bon.
But it is not sour. It is not sour.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
I have
pardon.
suspected it for some time, but now I'm convinced.
She's not acting by design, is she? Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake. Intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
Qu'est-ce que...
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Lord Mortimer, I'm sure you're aware that Louisiana is hardly prime quality land. I wouldn't be exaggerating to call it marshland. How is acquiring land they won't know what to do with going to strengthen the United States?
Think further, Louis. The United States won't stop there. Once they've acquired Louisiana, nothing will stop them. All they would have to do then is keep pushing toward the west to take the whole North American continent.
So you intend to get rid of the Spanish?
They are purely transitory. This is the settlers' home. It is natural for them to want to develop their nation to become one of the greatest powers of this world. As for the Spanish, there are just a handful of them actually on site, and if need be, we'll see to it that they are sufficiently occupied in Europe so that their focus is not on the North American continent. Moreover, Spain really only cares about its colonies in South America. It's hardly my fault if they are not capable of seeing the potential in the North American territories. The concept of royalty is from bygone times. It is time to lead the way to democracy. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Blast it, Mother. You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot.
My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France. namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Ouais,
Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France, free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
I must say, William,
Je dis rien du tout, j'ai aucune opinion
I
là-dessus.
find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Holm, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory. I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell.
Bien sûr, grave erreur de mon cul, ouais. Ah les gens, je te jure. Bon du coup bah on va tout lui balancer à ce enflure là. Et comme ça voilà.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
You see, Mr. President, Lord Mortimer anticipates that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
What do you mean? To us? The United States?
You heard right.
But
President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Merde.
Between you and me, Lord Mortimer, I'd rather let you explain.
That's why you need to expand, George. And I don't just mean Louisiana. That's just the first step. You will soon take over the whole of the northern continent. You will become a nation, able to compete with any of the superpowers of Europe or elsewhere.
But why didn't you tell me before?
So, Home doesn't see it coming. But by the time it dawns on Senor Godoy, it'll be too late, because he'll realize that he's just lost all the North American continent. We all know that you won't stop once the path is cleared before you.
What do you mean?
You see, Monsieur Peru, it's very likely that once Louisiana becomes American, President Washington will push out even more and take the West Coast.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
One step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Yeah.
Louis, if you have a minute, I would like to ask a favor. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is coming to persuade Senor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you.
D'accord, on verra bien, ouais, parce que là...
If you believe that's the best way, then...
Nevertheless, I wouldn't bring up all the habits and customs of the court with him too much. I sense he's on edge at the moment. I doubt he'll be able to abide by the rules of etiquette that befit his rank.
And thanks for the advice.
However, it must be done for the conference tomorrow morning. It's important, Louis.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Ouais, mais c'est ouf, elle a quand même envie, un truc de ouf, les amis. Essayez de convaincre Manuel Godoy. Bon, très bien. C'est quoi? Mais non. C'est con, hein. Mais non. Attendez, j'ai un problème. Merde. Ah là là, putain. Voilà. Voilà, ça c'est fait. Non mais, non mais... Ah, attendez, j'ai un problème. Voilà. Ah, j'ai un problème les amis, attendez.
Ouais, c'est bon.
Oh là 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 là, le bug qu'il y a, c'est incroyable.
Ouais, c'est bon.
C'est horrible ce qui se passe là, c'est bon, c'est mais même si c'est bientôt fini là. Ah super.
Aren't you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh. Please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
No, no. What do you want, Louis?
I'm going to have a word with Duke Manuel, but you know him better than I do, I believe.
Yes. Avoid any marks of respect and protocol pertaining to his rank. He's not fond of courtly manners.
Thank you for the advice, my lord. When are we supposed to vote?
The conference resumes tomorrow morning. That leaves little time for the little favor I spoke to you about.
Indeed. I'll go straight away. I shall be leaving you.
Bon, voilà. Je pense qu'il faut aller au lit là à un moment quand même. Hein. Ah non, bah non, je me suis gouré de...
Leave me, de Richet. I don't feel like talking.
Your door was ajar, and well, given the state of your room, I was worried.
It's none of your business.
Very well. I'll leave you then. See you tomorrow, monsieur.
Bon.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade, my dearest son. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Napoléon Bonaparte. Essayez de convaincre Manuel Gaudois.
The Beaucaire dinner. It hasn't been signed yet, but there's a letter with it.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Perhaps he didn't hear you. Did you try entering?
No, of course not. It would not be proper, after all.
Excuse me, Mr. von Volner. I'd like to get past.
Sorry, sir, but you will have to wait your turn. I, too, would like to speak to the Duke.
Great. Now he's not going to let me pass.
D'accord. Oh merde. Ça on l'a vu.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet.
Bon, ça va ta gueule.
You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Oh, now wait a minute. Yes, I remember now. I think I saw him in the garden.
In the garden? No, you must be mistaken. I've just come from there. I would have seen him.
Oh, I must have seen someone else then.
Most certainly. Oh well, he's bound to turn up at some point. I'll wait.
Oh mais non, mais dégage, bouffon.
Impossible to get through with him glued in front of the door. I'll have to find another way into Godoy's room.
On va passer par le jardin. Enfin, je sais comment ça...
Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke. Prometheus, punished for Don Quixote. Talking without thinking. It's the kiss of Judas, painted by Caravaggio. This is how Judas pointed out Christ to the Roman soldiers. Can you imagine a worse betrayal? Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to. Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man. Volner's probably still behind the door. I best go out through the balcony just in case.
A drachma.
D'accord, un changement pour ça, ça n'a pas changé. Non mais abruti, il est pas là.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
Oh non, il est pas là.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way. He won't let me by. I'll have to find another way of getting into the damned room.
Ah mec, je sais pas. Hein. Ça fait le taf là ce que j'ai fait, je sais pas, je vais faire 2 fois, mais le jeu c'est un éternel recommencement, visiblement, ça me pète les couilles.
Manuel Godoy, a painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. The Kiss of Judas, painted by Caravaggio. This is how Judas pointed out Christ to the Roman soldiers. Can you imagine a worse betrayal? Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything.
Et donc après
Amber.
Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man.
Bah là je sais pas. Hein. Là je sais. Là, franchement, je sais pas là, mec. Je sais pas où aller, je sais pas quoi faire. Enfin, je sais pas, ce jeu est pourri, putain, mais c'est incroyable. Putain, mais il est pas là, fils de pute.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in
Bah, il est pas là, donc dégage,
If I
connard.
want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Je vais aller dans la chambre exactement où j'y étais en fait. Ça me sert à rien quoi.
Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke.
Bon bah on va ressortir par l'autre là. Oh ces chargements de merde là, ils me pètent les couilles. Mais non, mais sérieux là?
Duke
putain,
Manuel Godoy.
Fils de pute, il est pas là,
Monsieur de
putain.
Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to
pas
pass
dans
through, I'll
l'aventure
have to
tant que
get
je peux pas le
Volner
faire
out of the
dégager.
way.
Putain mais dégage fils de pute, dégage. Mais non! J'ai oublié de faire un fond noir. Hein.
He won't let me by. I'll have to find another way of getting into the damned room.
Mais t'es déjà rentré dans cette putain de chambre, fils de pute va. Ça me sert à rien d'aller là en fait. Hein. Putain mais il va arrêter de me faire chier lui là.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet.
Faites tant que je
you
fais
wouldn't
pas
have seen
partir.
Duke Manuel by any
J'avancerai
chance,
pas dans
would you?
l'histoire donc
I was
voilà.
going to ask you the same
C'est
question.
fait.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door.
Mais il est
I'm
pas
not
là, fils
sure
de
he's
pute, tu
in
dégages,
there.
tu
If
vas
I
voir
want to
ailleurs,
pass
connard.
through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
I've searched all over the manor, but I can't find him.
One thing's for sure, Monsieur de Richet. He's neither in his room nor on this floor. I've just looked all over.
Il va voir ailleurs, connard.
I propose we both look for him. The first to find him tells the Duke that the other is also looking for him. Agreed?
Perfect. Let's do that. I shall have a look in the library. If you find the Duke before me, tell him I want to speak to him.
Yes. Let's proceed as you say.
Thank you, Monsieur de Richet.
Ah putain.
Right. Now be a good boy and go look somewhere else.
Passer par le balcon, c'est pas bon. Du coup, on va refaire le même truc qu'on a fait, qu'on a vu. Putain, ça ne veut rien dire. On va avoir droit à une cinématique. Non, putain, le jeu de le recommencement, quoi. Tout recommence dans ce jeu, c'est casse-couille, quoi.
Punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man.
Tout recommence dans ce jeu, c'est...
Manuel Godoy, a painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. You have to think about that one.
Bon.
President George Washington.
Bon, tuto parce que c'est un moment tu te dis mais le jeu est fait exprès quoi. Putain. Oh bordel, ça me casse les couilles. Je sais même pas dans quel épisode je suis, putain, épisode 3. Merde. Merde. Ah putain. Ta mère Ça me casse les couilles. The Council, épisode 3. Non, épisode 3, connard. Putain. Je comprends rien. Mais il faut le trouver ce connard. pas être dans sa chambre comme tout le monde, lui là, connard là. Oh putain, mais c'est pas possible. On est où là? Le pire c'est qu'il veut, il veut pas me dire où il est ce connard là. Putain, mais arrêtez de faire des jeux les... Salle de taille 10, salle de musique. C'est... Il veut pas être dans sa chambre ce connard, non, bah non. On peut faire simple quand on peut faire compliqué, non mais... Casse les couilles. Salle de musique, frère. Elle est où la putain de salle de musique là? T'es là, fils de pute!
Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richelieu, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
Confrontation, alors.
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive.
Huh?
It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed. I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark, raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down on you.
We shall see. It might, well, turn out to be the opposite.
You certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
The Golden Order, my friend. The Order is everywhere. We come from France. We are present in the United States, England, and many other countries. We have ambitions and the means to carry them out. You'll see, once all hell breaks out and your English support starts to fade away. The Order is an international organization. It matters little what governments do. Otherwise, why would Mortimer have gone to the trouble of inviting my mother?
If you are right, Sir Gregory has got it all wrong. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding Louisiana to France?
But for you, I'm convinced that Lord Mortimer will thank you generously.
You would not be trying to bribe me, would you?
Nothing could be further from my mind. It would be an insult to believe that someone such as yourself might have a practical attitude towards its virtue. Even so, it is only natural that you be supported and encouraged if you were to follow Lord Mortimer, isn't it?
Indeed, for services rendered, it would be natural for me to receive compensation for the time spent achieving such an undertaking, yes?
Naturally. And, given your status, my Lord Duke, the compensation would have to be considerable.
Naturally. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
If you continue with home, our two countries will become rivals. It could turn into war. Who knows?
It is likely, even.
A war, Duke Manuel. On our own territories. Do you really see yourself committing the Kingdom of Spain to an armed conflict against France? Can you imagine the financial investment required, not to mention the loss of lives and dishonor at the slightest defeat? Do you see yourself being the man responsible for that?
No, but you are the one...
You will know how much suffering a war would bring.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Monsieur, I am astounded. I did not think you capable, but you have succeeded. I will be more wary of you the next time. Nonetheless, if you can guarantee Lord Mortimer's support, then yes, you can count on my vote when the time comes. However, I expect you to be discreet with regard to my former partners, without which our agreement will become null and void.
Of course, my Lord Duke. You can count on me. Lord Mortimer will be delighted to hear the news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke.
See you tomorrow. Well, that's one thing out of the way. Only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Bon, allez me coucher. Je pense pas que ça va être compliqué hein, de trouver la... Waouh. Ça va pas être si compliqué de retrouver ma chambre quand même, là faut pas déconner. C'est un château, je m'y perds complètement, d'accord, c'est bon. Putain, c'est horrible.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
D'accord, ça va être compliqué. Alors.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ah putain, alors.
Huh, that's me.
Louis de Richer. Voilà, voilà. Bon, j'espère qu'on a bientôt fini le truc parce que putain, j'en peux plus.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, You're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, you surprised me during the conference.
Why's that?
Well, you are going to lose. Why stay with Lord Mortimer?
I believe he has every chance of winning.
My, you are a rash one. However, if ever you want to change sides, please feel free to let me know.
But tell me, you didn't come here to try and make me change my mind, did you?
That's the last thing on my mind, although you would have everything to gain by it.
There's no point trying to persuade me. Don't hold it against me.
Of course not, silly. Louis, if you trust me, you ought to ask yourself why I have chosen home. You do trust me, don't you?
Of course, Emily.
Admit, though, that it does make you think. There's still time, you know. Join us before it's too late.
I admit, you've sown the seed of doubt. But I don't know how Lord Mortimer is going to take my last-minute change of mind.
Don't worry yourself about that, really. It's only discussions and verbal jousting. No one's going to die, whatever happens, and Sir Gregory will be there to support you.
Very well. You can count on me to join your side, then. But don't tell anyone until the vote.
Promise. We'll make a good team, you'll see.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
I've seen her, Emily.
What? When was that?
A little earlier, just before the conference. She was hiding.
And did you manage to speak to her?
She's not the same. I don't know what's been happening to her, but she's changed. I found her in a deplorable state with one of her hands cut off. I mean, she was saying crazy things, bordering on delirium.
What? Did you say one of her hands was cut off? What happened to her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
And did she tell you why she shot Emma?
But how do you know she shot Emma? I didn't tell you.
You knew it, and you never said anything. Well, Louis, keeping your little secrets to yourself, that's not nice.
I was afraid for you.
No need to justify yourself, you know. We both have our secrets. Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Bon voilà, c'est bon. Hein. Voilà. Allez, voilà. Ah, le bisou est très mal fait. C'est très mal fait. Très mal fait.
Come, Louis.
On ne peut rien voir. Division.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted. And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her. What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Voilà. Ça c'est fait. Bon, alors c'est bon là, on va pouvoir... Ah bah putain, c'est de pire en pire là. Ok.
Hey, Emily? Emily? Are you there? Typical. There she goes again. What's with this habit of hers of taking off in the middle of the night?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you. Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
Against. Against.
And you, Luke Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and it...
Goodbye. Calm, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France.
What? What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man, and you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune. Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques,
let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jack, we'll talk it over.
Lui, je pense.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work
pas
for
intervenir, wesh.
I've had enough of your money, your influence, your power. I want my freedom back. I want my damn life back.
Pas les couilles. Voilà. Eh ben, ça va en faire un de moi. Voilà quoi, je m'en bats les couilles. Du moment que ça peut écourter l'épisode là, parce que les histoires de diplomatie là, merci, mais qu'est-ce que c'est casse-couille. Donc il y a eu 2 meurtres, hein. L'espèce de nana avec tous ces tatouages là au début d'épisode, et lui, du coup ça fait 2.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Perrault has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again, it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course.
It's absolutely incomprehensible.
As you say.
No idea what he could have blamed himself for. But the poor man was literally racked with remorse.
What a pity he did not seek the mercy of the Lord. He is forever damned now.
I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Toujours moi, c'est pas possible ça.
I wanted to see you to apologize for all these events. I am absolutely bowled over by what has just happened. Who would have thought that Monsieur Perrault would have taken his own life like that?
To be honest, my lord, I would not have risked my life for his, and his death doesn't really concern me.
I understand. You didn't really know him. I can't help but wonder what could have pushed him into doing it.
We shall never know, my lord. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Louis. One more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
And much good may it do you, my lord. But look at the voters. It needs to be unanimous. And we just lost Peru. The battle is already lost, if you ask me.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
Allez, c'est bon, c'est bon. Ma façon de jouer est assez archaïque, est assez droite, mais bon, là ça commence à devenir un peu casse-couille, hein.
I already mentioned it yesterday. Either you or someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your yes is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This is comfortable, you know. I'm freezing. Good.
Huh, that's me.
voilà.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Ah mais foutez-moi encore la paix là. Ah.
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Putain, il fait déjà nuit.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. President George Washington. Monsieur Johann van Wulner.
Oh, lui c'est là où...
Monsieur Jacques Perru.
Mais non, mais j'ai même pas... Ces putains de bugs, ça me casse les couilles. Ces putains de chargements de 3 heures là, nique ta mère un peu là. Je sais même pas dans quelle chambre je suis, putain de merde.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Putain, merde, mon téléphone il est où? Oh, fais chier! Oh, putain, je l'avais il y a 2 secondes là. Ah, mais rien ne va ce soir, rien ne va, ça me casse les couilles. Putain, il est là. Et là, pareil, je ne sais pas comment aller à cette grosse pute là de... Ah putain quand même, si.
I do believe that's Emily's voice.
Emily! Emily, are you there? Answer me! Emily!
I can't understand what she's saying. To get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy.
Bon bah on ouvre la porte là.
Damn it. It's closed. It seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side. Means I won't be able to pick it. Or I could do as I did the last time in the tower room. I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and making it fall.
My dearest son.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. A map? This should do the...
Les déchargements pour rien, c'est incroyable.
Perfect. This card should do the trick. I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and making it fall.
Oui, bah c'est ce que j'ai fait, connard.
Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow. I must act fast.
Non mais frère, c'est...
How could you do that to me?
It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this. What are you on about now?
A letter from
I should
William
never have told
the
you what
Younger,
happened to me.
addressed to
That's
Emily.
how it works, and you know it full well.
What
I'm
on
not that
earth is...
naive.
You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk after everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What?
De quoi?
If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch. How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on, then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on, then. Shoot. After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot. Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival, who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her, Louis. Another question, then. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
When we arrived at the manor, someone was already present in the Great Hall. Who was it?
George Washington, President of the United States, Louis. Of course you are able to reply. I'm the one who told you.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Of course. How could I forget? In my room, in fact. In my room. You wanted to spy on Bonaparte's room from the balcony and thought it a great idea to go through mine. I am sorry for putting that knife to your throat, by the way. I hope I didn't leave any marks. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
Non mais c'est elle la fausse, c'est celle devant moi qui est fausse.
Things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Moi, je suis sûr que c'est elle là devant.
Before going to bed, we found ourselves in an odd situation.
You surprised me searching through Mortimer's secret gallery. Behind the chimney. You were looking for clues about your mother. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us. Last night, you came to visit me, and I can't help wondering why. Why did you come to my room?
Louis, you must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night, and that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What? No! You didn't do that. I didn't want you to be jealous of Louis. Remember how you always used to react whenever you felt you were competing against a man? You dirty...
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade.
Bon bah on va
That's
la tuer.
enough. Both of you.
Elle c'est la vraie,
Now
du coup
I
la
know who
seule
the
de
real
face c'est la
enemy
fausse.
is.
Bon bah voilà, on l'a tue, allez.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you.
No, Emma.
Merde.
It's her. I know it. Despite all the
Merde,
trouble
je suis
you've
con.
gone to
Je
put
pensais
one
qu'il
over
fallait
on me,
qu'on
I
devait
know
la-
it is
Oh
her.
merde.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut. Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now.
Je pensais que là, c'était,
Never. I am Duchess Hills. No.
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But
You don't. Dear God, what have I
Oh,
done?
on peut tuer les deux là.
See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away. You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess, is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please. Go. I'll cover you.
C'est d'un compliqué tout ça, bordel de merde. Putain, allez, dépêche-toi, Charles.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Bon. Je ne sais même pas comment...
Carmelite water.
Eh, ça me gaffe tous ces chargements de merde là, putain.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No!
Non mais ta gueule,
That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. I'd put my money on the boogeyman and Father Christmas.
Do you really believe that I'm joking here? Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Rational and open, Louis. Tell me then, how can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries, always having signed documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights, where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Sir Gregory?
No, Mortimer, of course. He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted?
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
En fait, ça parle pour rien dire, en fait. Putain.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Oh, super. Ah, salut, Kenny. Ah, mais là, t'as raté. Oh là là, j'en peux plus, frère. Je suis fatigué, sérieux. Ah mais là frère, tu t'as raté, mais le pire là. Et ça blablate, et ça blablate, et ça blablate. Oh là là, c'était chiant. Je te jure que c'était chiant. Ah merde, faut... Et utilisez un excisateur pour supprimer vos altérations négatives.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal?
Oui, okay,
you'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us.
And remember, the code to get out of the secret office.
Ah, pardon, j'en pouvais plus. Ah, j'en pouvais plus.
Is 6466.
Bon, bah on va voir sur tutoriel comment récupérer tout ça. Je me prends même plus la tête en fait. Tellement que ça me casse les couilles. Un jeu qui blablate là pendant 2 heures là pour rien dire. Putain, mais ferme ta gueule quoi. Il y a un certain nombre d'objets que vous devez rassembler pour accomplir la tâche, y compris une croix, quelques clous et l'excès de Judas. D'accord, vous devrez rassembler 3 clous et l'excès de Judas dans la salle secrète. Ton frère faut être dans la salle secrète de Mortimer. Il y a un certain nombre d'objets que vous devrez rassembler, vous devez trouver. Faut aller dans la salle secrète de Mortimer alors.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Les amis, ce jeu me saoule. Bon, je vais m'arrêter là parce que je... Voilà. Les amis, passez une bonne soirée à tous et on se refait ça à un moment dans la semaine, voilà. J'en ai plus rien à branler. Bon les amis, salut, bonne soirée à tous. Ciao tout le monde, c'était The Critisman.